I never thought the day would come where I would lose a member of my family. Death is a hard concept to grasp, and the finality is something that cannot be understood until it happens. I knew that he was having problems. I knew that he was falling ill. I knew about his weakened bones, but it was something you could never expect to happen. My grandfather struggled with a lot of health issues, though worsened from his lifestyle. The lack of exercise and the smoking took a toll on whatever health he had left after the cancer took over his body. We found out in the middle of summer while I was at home alone and the rest of my family was at a wedding. I was following my usual routine of watching random useless videos, passing the hours till everyone came back home. I heard the doorbell ring, much earlier than I expected. They had barely been out of the house for 2 hours. To my surprise, I saw my sister and my mom, both teary-eyed, standing in the doorway. My mom just rushed by me and ran upstairs. I turned to my sister in confusion, and she just fell into my arms and told me that my grandfather had passed away. I didn't know how to react. This is not something I experienced before. This is not something that you can prepare for. All I could do was walk into my room, dazed and confused from this new information. As I laid in my bed, I just started to cry. It just started to hurt, and I didn't know how to make it stop. I yearned for my mom and searched for her upstairs. I went over to her, sitting on the floor, and just hugged her and cried. We got up and tried to distract ourselves with anything and everything. I started to look at flights to India so my mom could go and be with the rest of her family for the cremation rituals. I started to think about how many times I talked to my grandfather. I realized that the last time I talked to him was months ago. I was a general and superficial chit-chat where I told him how I was busy with my schoolwork, and he would tell me what TV show he was watching. He asked me when I would next come and visit, and I responded with my "next summer when I have holidays" comment. Never did I think that that summer would not come for him. Never did I think that I would not get the chance to see him again. I did not have the time to even talk to my grandpa for a few minutes. I felt like such an ass. He was always someone I took for granted. I always thought that he was going to be there regardless. I never realized that anything could happen to him, especially so soon. I felt like such an ungrateful grandson. And now there was no way I could make it up to him. He was gone. Forever. I was never going to be able to say hi to him again. I was never going to hear him call me captain again. I was never going to see a smile when he picked us up from the train station in India. I decided now that I would not make the same mistake. I did not want to alienate the rest of my family. I started talking to all of my grandparents regularly. I am even visiting them over this coming summer before I go to college, just so I can see them in person again, because who knows when the next chance again will come. I want to maintain a good connection with them. I hope to actually be a good grandson. I want to be there when they want to talk to me. I want to have a meaningful conversation with them. I want to learn about all their stories and experiences. I want them to know me as well as my friends who I see every day do. I want to know what is happening in their lives, regardless of how menial it may be. Most of all, I do not want the same mistake to happen to me again.